guys, welcome back to the channel. I figured I'd do a little bit of exploring around with my Akai MPK mini keyboard, and I figured I'd give myself a little bit of a different challenge today. So I'm gonna run through some programming, work through some samples to get some lead lines, and I'll probably do some bass parts, a little bit of an instrumental track way outside of my comfort zone of alternative rock. So yeah, join me and let's get to it. Alright, so I am in the session. I built everything so far in an 8-bar loop. I'll show you the drum loop that I have so far. I have all the cymbals here. This will be the programmed kick. And then the programmed snare. I got a whole bunch of samples from this one guy on Reddit. The link will be down in the description below and or pinned comment. I have to find the actual saved post, but I have a link to the Google Drives folder. I can't remember the guy's name offhand. Hopefully when I'm editing, I'll be able to find that information. But he shared everything for free. They were some Zildjian A-series cymbals. I'm using the Ria Sample-O-Matic 5000 that comes stock in Reaper to load up all my samples. I have a few different options that he has. I have an open hi-hat here, and I have two closed hi-hats. This would be the second option. Well, I have two crash cymbals. They're both the same one. Just one is slightly pitch shifted. One will be on the pan to the right. The other one will be pan to the left. And then I have a few ride options. So when it comes to programming any sort of drums, you'd want to have it emulate a actual drummer's feel. So you want to have all kinds of variations in the velocity of all the instruments. So then that way it really simulates an actual drummer's hit on the tracks. The one sample that I am using is called I Wanna Kick. I got this off of an old Produce Like a Pro video back from, I want to say 2020 or 2021, but I know this warehouse kick option. I'll play the sample here in a second. Now this one gives a lot of depth as opposed to I Want to Kick. This I Want to Kick is just a low pronounced depth. It's a deeper resonant kick sound. But I also have these two samples that are, the punch one was pitched to an E, and then the sub, I pitched it down to match, so it'll be an E as well. This would be the kick sound of everything I have together. And much like the cymbals, I have it varying a lot in the velocity to give it a more human feel. I'm going to do a slight timing off of everything. To where this is the snare, I have a few different ones. So this one, snare sample 2. This is from that Produce Like a Pro pack. The source one is a almost digital drum sampler sort of sound. Now this last one's Cinematics Artist Series. Yeah, I also got this one from my one Discord friend. And this would be everything together for the drums one more time. Now I also have this rainfall loop that I got from Free Sound site on loop, where I want to add this as texture and a lo-fi effect to the beat. This was just kind of provide an alternate rhythm of the rain pattering against the window as I develop a track on top of it. And I'm just going to have the 8-bar loop repeat. Is a telephone ring from Sample Focus. It's just pretty much a buzzing telephone. I did a little bit of editing on it to where I just got the loop broken down a little bit. Now this is what the sample will sound like without the MIDI keyboard affecting the pitch on it. I have it on loop, so it'll be something that'll loop, and then I'll come down to mode, change it to note, so it'll shift with all the pitches I have. And then this beeping one. Here is the original sample. This is the one that came from that Tristan, and it's a whole lot of free EDM samples that I don't even remember where I got this. I think he might have posted it on Reddit years ago, probably at the beginning of the pandemic, and most of these have just been sitting on my hard drives over the years. It gives a very nice plucky sound. And then I have that same sample right here. The only difference is I shortened the length time a little bit. I pitched the entire thing down 1 octave, so it'll be just an octave lower of what I'm actually playing on my keyboard. And this will be everything together again. And then I have that telephone dead air sound underneath, very quiet, just to kind of give an alternate dimension to the synthesizer sound that I'm building. So this will be all 3 together. As you can hear, the telephone dead air adds a little bit of just movement and whirls underneath the plucks from the beeping sound. I'm gonna just play the loop and I'm gonna work on some sample ideas, kind of just go through the process really quick. There we go. That's going to be the ending. Alright, I'm gonna come in and clean this up. Make sure the very first one's always on beat 1, definitively. Gonna come in and just do a little bit of tone shaping, and have this do a curve out just to make some space for the kick, so the kick drum will pop through a lot more in the mix. But yeah, so far I'm liking that. I'm gonna probably I'm gonna run that a lot more like that. Explain a little bit of what I'm doing. I was just doing a little bit of mixing. Typically, I don't really build songs like this. Usually when I create music, I'll just kind of go through the motions of coming up with a riff on guitar or some lyric ideas or even the melody. That'll be my starting point, and then after I get all the parts arranged out and I get the song structured, I'll go through mixing and everything. But I figured I work very differently and kind of mix as I go. I know I'm going to add a lot of little layers here and there, some filler parts in the tracks. This song as a whole is going to be very much influenced by hip hop, which is outside of what I normally produce as a musician, like I mentioned. I'll just do an 8-bar phrases, kind of build out the track all together. I'll arrange it into probably like a 2-3 minute song, and I'll just kind of give a basis going, so then that way I could send it out to friends of mine or gauge on some of the music discords that I'm in. But yeah, I believe the next thing I'm going to add will be bass guitar. Just because I have a bass idea figured out and kind of what I want to go for it. Nice. Let me go in and clean that bass up a little bit. So I got the loop pattern set up accordingly. Alright, got that. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and learned something with me as I tried something new with my music production. But yeah, if you like what you saw, don't be afraid to give the video a thumbs up. Comment down below on anything you like to see from the channel, as well as tips and tricks that you guys do for your productions or limitations you give yourself to get your creative juices working. I would love to hear it. Yeah, in the meantime, I'll catch you guys around and have a great day. All right, see you guys.